So now what do I do? Well, I guess there's only one thing. There's something I'd like to know. Are you real? Can you feel?
Hi friends, I'm Prairie Vintage. My name's Linda. I'm an energy intuitive reader here on YouTube, and I use spirits, my intuition, the tarot to communicate energies to you guys, most fabulous viewers. If you guys are new here to this channel, welcome, and I'm so glad you found me. I do have a disclaimer for those of you guys who are new here and or to tarot, so that you guys can understand how it is that I'm channeling the energy through this channel. Okay, for those of you guys who are returning, I'm so blessed. I'm so grateful. I love you guys so much, and I can't wait to do your reading. You guys are all very safe and welcome in this space with me today. Today's reading, we'll be using these cards right here, and I'll put a link to the deck reveals for you guys for these decks, for those of you guys interested in charging these cards or just interested in the cards in these packs. And this will be a pick a card. We'll be using the Inner Child cards and the two cards here, the Rumi and the Mother Mary Oracle, in order to take a look at guidance on your current situation. Okay, this could be any situation that you're going through, and the strongest energy pulls through in your energy field. Okay, so you might be focused on something, but Spirit might be directing you to what's going to be the main area of focus for you in order to guide you to wherever you're needing to go. Okay, so just keep an open mind, but if it doesn't resonate with the energy you're feeling or experiencing, then it's not your pile. Okay, so sometimes other people's energy comes through, and because I don't have a little name like an avatar on it, I don't know whose it belongs to. I'm just reading energy and cards. Okay, so it's up to you to say, this sounds like someone I'm dealing with, something I'm dealing with, a person, place, thing. Okay, everything carries energy, vibration, and I read it. And then it's up to you to sort of apply. It could be a part of your inner world that you're not connecting to. It could be your higher self coming through. Okay, but I'm not trying to throw shit at the wall, so don't stretch it to make it fit. Either it resonates or it doesn't resonate. Okay, and if it doesn't, there are more piles and more readings and more readers on YouTube. So it's up to you to kind of find your niche and what works for you. Okay, so yes, we'll be looking at guidance on your current situation. And like I said, this could be any situation, so we'll tap into what that energy is. Okay, and then of course the guidance and how you're being called to navigate through. Now, no tarot reader or tarot reading is going to tell you exactly what you have to do. That's always up to you. Okay, it's just providing you with some insight, and it's however you sort of take that information and apply it or disregard it or just see through whatever it is you're needing to see through in order to have movement or solutions or deal with certain things that might feel stuck or challenging in your world. Okay, so these are the cards that call to me, and I will put timestamps below. We will select, like I said, from these three decks right here for the three options, and then we will get into your reading. All right, and for those of you guys interested in a private reading and you're looking to save 35% off, my sale on my website ends at the end of this month. Okay, so March 31st, Sunshine 35 is the code to enter in to save 35% off. And that is off everything, off prairievintagejewelry.com. So anything listed, including all services, extended readings, and private readings, save 35% off. Okay, I'll put the information below, and I will see you guys at the card selection. All right, let us pull from these three decks, and each pick or each pile will have one of each. Okay, so just listen to your intuition. If at any point you feel called to a pile, then just select from the timestamp below. Okay, but I'll let you take as much time as you need, and we will lay the cards out. So Spirit for the collective tuned into this reading in regards to their current situation, circumstance, challenge, whatever it is they're dealing with energetically. And what is the guidance? How are they to navigate through, work through their challenge or their situation at this time? Clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of the collective tapped into this reading. Okay, so we have 1, pile 2, pile 3, and we will pull, like I said, one of each of these. Okay, I won't read the back side of these cards because there's words on the back of both of these that will help us to channel in the pile, but just use your intuition. For pile 1, Spirit, their current situation, guidance, and advice. How do they navigate their current set of circumstances, situation? All right, beautiful. Option number 2, pile 2, current set of circumstances, situation. This one right here, gorgeous. And option number 3, how do they navigate their current situation? Guidance, advice. Beautiful. All right, so put these aside. And then the Rumi cards. Clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of the collective tuned into this reading. Guidance on their current situation, circumstance. For pile 1, Spirit, please. Pile 1. Pile 2, current situation, circumstance in which pile 2 is needing guidance at this time. So pile 2, the cloak of Christ revealing itself, okay? And we'll read it together, but I'm going to leave it like this so that you guys can tap into the imagery here, okay? And then for option number 2, or option number 2, I'm sorry, option number 3. For option number 3, Spirit, pile 3, in regards to guidance on their current situation, circumstance. Guidance for pile 3. Guidance, advice. What do they need to understand about their situation in order to move through it? We have this card right here. Okay, so feel free to zoom in if you can. Take as much time as you need. I'll let the video run for a little bit here. Okay, let me make sure that it's all good. I will turn the light off so you guys can see. I think that's better for you until I get into the reading, and then I turn it on. All right. So 1, 2, 3, sit with this energy, and then I will see you guys at your pick. Hello, pile number 1. What I was going to do is reveal these cards, and I did not. So that's interesting. Okay. This is the Fairy Tale Tarot, the Inner Child cards. So we'll take a look, and then the back side of these cards have some words on them as well that I'll be channeling here. Okay, and then I have pre-shuffled oracle cards that I've not looked at, and really what I asked Spirit was guidance for your current set of circumstances or situation in which you're needing advice. And sometimes Spirit pulls through what we're dealing with. If we're misguided and focused on something else, Spirit might bring us back to the main thing we should be sort of looking at or dealing with, okay? So if this energy is sitting anywhere in your energy field, a person, place, thing, your own energy, somewhere within you that it's resonating, even if we're not sort of connecting to it at this time because we're in the dark about it, but it resonates is what you're dealing with, then this could definitely be your message, okay? But don't force it to fit. And not every time you click on something, it's going to have something that is for you necessarily, okay? So just make sure that you resonate. And then you could definitely be tapping into multiple piles with multiple messages for your situation, okay? So let's take a look at this energy over here first, okay? We have the 9 of Wands. I'm going to turn the light off so you can see, although I might turn it back on so that I can read. Okay, 9 of Wands, beautiful butterfly here. And then we have this card right here. And it says, Our Lady who sends the angels. With a pure heart, free from any intention other than manifesting the Divine Mother's love. Call on the angels who love all beings unconditionally. Ask for help for yourself and for all you feel inspired to pray for, including those you know are in need of assistance, but perhaps lack the spiritual skillfulness to help themselves. Pray with relief in your heart that is born of total trust. Wow, wow, wow. Isn't that always the message we have here? The gorgeous. And then we have this Rumi card right here. Beautiful. So she's sort of looking up here, or being fed some sort of divine light. It says, beyond death and life. Beyond death, life. It says, footprints lead to the shore of the sea. Beyond that point, no trace remains. You are urged beyond what has been. The time has come. Lay it to rest now. This ending comes as a grace to free you from all you have known. What you have known is now too small for your soul. Wow, isn't that powerful? I'm going to leave it like this because that's how I'm going to channel. I might flip it around. So let's lay all the cards out before I begin to sort of read this, okay? So you can put the picture together. Now, the transparent oracle needs this cloth, otherwise I can't see the image. So let's pull on that and see. And I might read from the book because these cards are really tricky to work with. I don't know if you guys have them as readers here, but we will obviously read what we get intuitively. This is card 77. The number is at the bottom here. Okay, so 77 is a master number. Trust the fall, an adventure that arises from deep wisdom. Okay, trust of life, trust of self. So we have death and life over here. Let me put this over here so that you guys can see what this is. And I am going to read from the book here. 77. And yeah, this tarot deck is, this oracle deck is very interesting. All right, so there's a lot of layers. Okay, there's south, east, west, north, and then above, below, within, and all the archetypes with this deck. Okay, so let's take a look. 77 is near the end here. And it says the archetype of the magician. Okay, well, that's somewhat easy. Okay, it says direction within. Keywords: intelligent, eccentric, mysterious, shape-shifting, inventive, trickster, the planet of Mercury. The magician is a wielder not only of mystical forces but of science, so advanced that it may appear as magic to others. Mythic versions of this archetype include Merlin and the fairy godmother from Cinderella. Interesting, because that's the fairy tale tarot that I'm using today. If one of the other cards has anything to do with Cinderella, that would be very interesting. Okay, so I'm not sure. I haven't done the other reading. So it says, and Cyrus Kears, I don't know how to read that. In pop culture, we encounter the magician archetype in figures such as Gandalf in The Lord of the Rings, Jed from Ursula Le Guin's Earthsea books, and Zuri in Black Panther. It's difficult to know exactly where you stand with the magician archetype since they are always a few steps ahead on a path you might not even know exists yet. The magician has achieved mastery of all 7 directions and thus exists in more dimensions at once than would be considered normal. They therefore have an otherworldly air, and though they may sometimes seem distant, they are perceiving things on a deeper level. They keep their secrets and reveal only that which is necessary at the time that suits them. They can be great initiators and, as such, can sometimes appear in challenging roles as well as supportive. If the magician appears in your reading, it may be encouraging you to take on this mantle yourself, or it may mean that this archetype is being embodied elsewhere in your life. What aspects of your life needs to transform? What secret knowledge do you carry? How can you wield the power of change responsibly? The shadow of the magician is manipulation and cruel trickery. Look to other cards in the reading for more clarity on your aspect of your world the magician is working within. So, very standard archetype of the magician here. Okay, Virgo, Gemini, although I do like to read what the author has to say about it. And we have the 3 here, which is fascinating to me. I don't know why there's not 4, dealing with the 4 elements. And like it said, north, east, southwest. This feels like something's still missing here. although it said it was complete and mastered or something. And I can't help but see the pentacles happening here in the middle here, 3 pentacle. So pentacle, and then I'm seeing all the blue here looking like fire. Okay, but the blue would be the intellect or the sword. And then the fire, which is blue here. Okay, which is wand energy. But I feel I'm missing earth. Something's grounding here, or needing grounding. Death and life, 9 wands. Interesting. Okay, let's keep going. I'm getting pulled into that card. So we have challenging times with this 5. Okay. 5 is all about challenge, but it's also the point of change and rebuild. It's holding the shield up. And then we have the Angel of Love, 49, which really pulled through with this card here. Okay, unconditional love. Beautiful, 49. Or 13. 13 is this life and death energy we were feeling here, Scorpio energy. Okay, and then we have the unfinished symphony with the number 10. Well, 10's about endings, but unfinished symphony means something's sort of not over. Okay, the egg could talk about new beginnings, something being incubated here. And music always gives me the authentic self-expression, even with the blue here, something being expressed authentically. She's sitting on top of this egg. She's looking like a jester. What's that character from that show that I forget what that show is called. Harley Quinn. That's what she's looking like over here, like a little Harley Quinn. Okay, so interesting. Then we have gratitude is life force of peace. What are you thankful for? 41 and another 5. Okay, 55 is a master number. Change is the only constant, divinely orchestrated change. So what's guaranteed? Well, change for sure, but what is guaranteed? Death and life. We can't help it, we can't stop it, and we can't do anything about it. Right? And so there feels to be something that's changing here that we can't do really anything about here, you know, but of course we can manage our energy, meaning what am I thankful for? What am I loving here? How am I showing up here energetically? So I might have to shift our energy. Maybe we're defensive, or maybe we're just very exhausted here, you know, fighting some sort of battle. Now, birch trees are all about new beginnings as well. Okay, we have, like I said, death and life, this egg, new beginning. On the other side of this fence, fences, you know, could be, again, this defensive or guarded or protected energy. Oh, there's a gate, and this fairy is sort of cracking this gate open. And all these butterflies, like I said, were really pulled, or really calling to me at the beginning of the reading, which is all about this transformation. But fairy is unworldly. Angels are unworldly. Something about guidance. Okay, angel of love as well here. Opening this gate, or removing maybe the block to this new beginning. Wow, okay. And then we have this card right here. Okay. And this is also a new deck for me, so we might read this one as well. It says creativity. Number 40. East, yellow. Your creativity is a story that needs a voice in a world, a way to be heard. Remember I said about this self-expression here. And it has moved into your spirit's lodge. Creativity is part of your future life. People think that creativity is outside of them, like truth or power, but it inhabits you like your own life force, and it animates your being. Creativity is within the crystal palace of your mind. You are about to go on a long journey called your life. And as you travel, you will learn to heal the evil forces of darkness. You are a warrior in a fight against ignorance. These dark sorcerers are created within each of us when we live in a life of unexpressed creativity. When we live someone else's truth and not our own. Define your own creativity and live that creativity in your world. Interesting. I don't think that the book's going to offer much more on this, because I do feel that there is nothing other than describing what the East might indicate. Let's see. 40. East yellow. Okay, well, this is the story in the back. It says definition. Okay, the painting is entitled Crystal Palace. The pagoda of the creative self is open to allow for the openness of mind. If the pagoda or your physical body, the crystal would be your spine, the conduit of your energy. The crane is a guardian of happiness and longevity on your pathway to eternal creativity, and the snowy mountains symbolize the higher state of consciousness required for true creativity. Creativity is a teaching found in the East because it takes strength to delve into the deepest part of your spirit to manifest the truth that you find there. Wow. All right. Deep, deep, deep. Of course, it's on this channel. I wouldn't expect anything otherwise than deep messages, but I am going to keep it like this. Wow. That's why I don't like double-sided cards, because I don't know which side to pull up when I'm channeling. Decisions. So shame with 33. So 33 is a master number. Okay, reproduction, creativity, humor, Christ consciousness, and joy and harmony. And I think we got the cloak of Christ for pile number 2. There could be a connection, especially if that fairy tale tarot card was anything to do with Cinderella, but I don't know. I haven't seen it, but interesting. So we have shame. Okay, and shame might manifest in sort of different ways, because this is the unseen. Okay, but shame is always stemmed from some idea of lack. Okay, so I will pull the tarot as well, and then we will channel. So let's ask Spirit for pile 1, their current situation, circumstance, and what is it that pile number 1 is needing to know in regards to guidance, advice about their current challenging situation, or what they're navigating right at this moment. What is the advice and the guidance that they need to know? Now, I haven't used these cards in a minute, and they're super chunky. There we go. So, clear and concise message for pile number 1. Advice, guidance, what they need to know. Feeling this one here. Tower. Wow. And the Knight of Swords in the reverse, and the 7 of Cups. Okay, why is this Tower here? Feel the bottom one. The 4 of Cups in the reverse. Why is this Knight of Swords here? Feel the bottom one again. 10 of Swords in the reverse. And then why is this 7 of Cups here? 7 of Cups. Wow. Hierophant. Everything's sort of coming from the bottom up. Hierophant is Taurus energy. Let's take a look at the bottom of the deck. The 5 of Wands, which is this 5 energy. Challenging times we were feeling. Conflict. Okay, and then the Empress under that, which is this angel of love and the unconditional love. Taurus Libra energy. Okay, so let me channel this thing for you guys, beautiful angels. You guys can definitely skip ahead, and I will find the wand that I feel connected to at this time. Well, I guess it's this one. Okay. Okay, beautiful angel. I do feel you're going to have to apply what energy belongs to you in this thing that I'm about to channel here. I'm pretty sure I probably know. But like I said, sometimes we deal with people and there's energy around us that belong to other people, and I don't want to just say it's your energy, okay? So you'll have to decide. You're dealing with something here that is super highly guided. And it is guided in order for, as all sort of things happen to us, okay, in order for us to learn or see or understand certain things here, regardless of what you're experiencing. But how you'll know that this is your pile is I do feel like you're called to hold a higher vibration of love for this situation, for this experience you're having, which I do feel could be dealing with a challenging person. Okay, could be a person, place, or thing, like I always say, but you are at a higher position of understanding consciously. This doesn't mean you're more superior. This doesn't mean you're anything other than maybe more aware. But it doesn't make it easier, because I feel like you're experiencing, sometimes when we're more aware and we could see more, it's like more challenging than being sort of ignorant or in the dark in some way. Okay. And so I feel like the guidance for you, which will unpack this thing, is really about you have no power to change that person, place, or thing, or confront or do anything, because I don't think it feels good. I think you're being called to not engage and not be pulled into it, not have to fight your way through that thing and speak your truth to that thing or fight through that thing. What you're being called to do is, and what you have the power to do, is energetically shift your energy to the truth energetically by knowing the higher truth, which I think you know, but it's difficult to sort of maintain that truth, which is what? Which is, I hold a higher state of consciousness. I don't need to get pulled into things that are beneath me, and when I say beneath, it's like it's a 3D, more dense challenge. Arguments, needs to prove oneself, and all of that stuff. Okay, because I do feel like you're overcoming a level of spiritual growth in which might have like you're breaking the ceiling from some spiritual lesson or some spiritual growth here. So you might have had to learn a lot about loving yourself and how to hold a vibration of love for other, even when we're challenged, of course. And how, when we are more conscious of something or more aware of something that isn't necessarily spoken or seen, and maintain that understanding of truth and be able to utilize this energy, okay, to shift our own internal world vibrationally, rather than getting pulled because if something is going good, then I feel good. If something goes bad or it's challenging, I feel bad. If something's here, it feels good. If something's removed, it feels bad, or vice versa. And so this is teaching you self-mastery of your internal world, not to get pulled by the external, because you're external. And I think this is the thing. It's like the external, we want to see it be solid. We want to see it flow. We want to see it cohesive. We want to see it just be the way we want to feel it should flow, And when it doesn't, what then? And the what then is the lesson. Because the what then is, how do I deal with this external thing that is, not flowing the way I want? I cannot. And Spirit's saying there is nothing to do there. There's everything to do in the internal world. Because your truth could still be held. And Spirit's talking about there being a new beginning in this challenge or this experience. Okay, something feels very painful here because, again, when we're sitting in a circumstance or there's someone being either challenging to us, or it appears, which is it's an experience, or someone maybe isn't pulling their weight, or they left us in a having to pick up pieces in some way. They might feel either abandoned, alone, or just like having to carry the weight alone, And so we could go down the rabbit hole of whatever we believe, and whatever we believe is true. If I believe that this thing is, the biggest challenge, and all of this stuff, then I create that understanding. This is saying your power is in your understanding. And so when things are shifting, when things are changing, okay, there's massive shift here. So things fall away. And when things fall away, which is always a thing that will happen for sure, that's guaranteed, okay, like taxes and life and death. I hate when people say taxes, but anyway, life and death, guaranteed, okay? And so there's nothing that can stop the flow of forever shifts. But what you do have power and control over is your internal world. And this is saying your own vibration of your internal world is going to find you this peace, because this is all about guidance. And guidance is, I don't want to feel what I feel. And Spirit says, you don't have to. Your external situation is going to do what it does. Unfortunately, Spirit is saying that isn't something you're able to manipulate at all or change. But that wasn't the lesson. The lesson was dealing with that. How do you manage your energy? And a promise here that whatever this is going to be rebuilt in a way here that's better, because it's not over or ended. And whatever challenge you were experiencing is falling away. But the painful experience is falling away. This is needed in order to overcome this painful experience with this person, place, or thing. And I think it left you in a state of confusion. You know, some of you guys are like, is that it? What do I do now? Is this over? Or will I hear from this person or the situation? It left me maybe feeling helpless, hopeless, or lost, or more confused. And Spirit is saying the vibration which you're being called to hold is that of love. Okay, and we cannot extend any love to external things if we don't hold the vibration of love inside for ourselves. And so how do we hold vibration and love for ourselves? We must identify when we're being called or pulled in other direction that goes against love. And so when we monitor what we're sort of telling ourselves, or even observe what we're doing, we could say, where's this energy being created? It's being created within me, but where's the source? Where is it coming from? Am I conscious? Because this is telling me that you're somebody who already can be conscious, you know? And so just like everyone else, we get pulled into story, we get pulled into arguments, we get pulled into different parts of our mind that might be telling us different stories. And all of those stories are true and untrue. It's whatever you believe. So you can attach to that narrative or that story, or this person did this, or that happened this way, or we could not feed that story and make it untrue. So it's either true or untrue based on the energy you give it, but you're the master magician here. And I feel like there's something about needing to ground yourself in love, like ground yourself in a higher state of vibration. Easier said than done, but this is the solution to what you're dealing with now, because the answer here is very clear. There's nothing you can do externally that's going to shift this person, place, or thing to act in line or to do anything. This is, how do I overcome what I'm feeling right now? Because what I'm feeling right now doesn't feel good to me, and I don't know that I'm doing the right thing in regards to how I'm supposed to be here in this moment. And here in this moment, Spirit says, hold love. Here in this moment, hold gratitude. Here in this moment, monitor what energy you're sort of holding. Don't chase or force or argue or coerce or convince yourself of anything other than love. And so there is something here about protecting that energy. So it's not to become defensive, and anything that comes that's not in love, block it out when it comes to external. This is about love is the protection shield that you need. Gratitude and high vibration and this consciousness is the protection that you need, instead of falling into the trap. Because I feel like you could fall into a trap here that doesn't feel good of your circumstance. So I do feel like whatever you experience is coming to an end in order for there to be a new beginning. You're transitioning, and the transition here requires you to hold a high vibration of love and gratitude. And it first starts with the self, obviously. Okay, so if we buy any story other than the self-love story, because the mind is telling us something else, or the experience we're having is showing something else, don't buy that story, because you have the power to say, what am I choosing to buy and feed right now? And this love of mine, okay, will be my protection here, will be the vibration, and Spirit says, and I will guide you through this thing. And you have learned the lesson here, and you will be graduated to this beautiful, liberated person who has reached some sort of understanding that you're being called to see and understand, which is that of your divine nature, the love of self, love of other, abundance, no lack. Okay, but if we believe in the lack story, this is missing, this has happened, and now I'm the victim or the sufferer, then that's the experience exactly what we have. And that creates a confusion. So right now I feel like there's a confusion about your practical state. And Spirit says, don't invest too much energy trying to sort your practical state. Okay, when I say practical, whether this thing is going to come online, come offline, be removed from you, develop further, any of that stuff, Spirit says that is in the divine's hand. That's going to have a beautiful new beginning for you. That's meant for you. Your only thing here is the vibration of love, and to maintain that. Okay, and your external world, which is challenged, could be a person that's very challenging or that's created something in your world. Hold the higher state, pray for them, pray for whatever you're needing to do. But it's like the gratitude here is that you can see, and you're connected to Spirit to connect to this greater truth. And so maintain that energy as much as you can, no matter how much you sort of get pulled here towards the story or the 3D world, because this feels very high level. Okay, and I do feel like Spirit is giving you some sort of information here with this card and this card and this card. To me, it feels like somebody is acting in a lower state of consciousness. They might be, in shadow, or this experience here might be something that they're that's coming from a different place that has nothing to do with you. Okay, with this shame here. And so this mirror of whatever you're experiencing here, of someone's shadow or lower state of consciousness, or this thing, is holding up to you a truth of yourself so that you can learn this beautiful lesson. And Spirit says only you can do this, because I do feel like you're wanting to, again, things to flow. Maybe you want to work together with someone, to create something with someone, and someone's MIA, or someone's just challenged. It's like, now what? And Spirit's saying this falling away of whatever it is actually a good thing, because when things fall away, we have to see what's true and what's still standing. And so if there's stuff in the shadow, okay, which I do feel there's stuff in the shadow with this shame card, it's like people's intentions or things that aren't true, distortions, beliefs, they get highlighted. Okay, and what's a good way to, like, if we want to see, let's say, the light, and it's all dark, the best way to see light is to turn a light on in a dark room. It's like the opposite energy here. And so if something is in the shadow, or, like I said, like untrue or distorted, or an illusion, that there's lack here with shame, beliefs, what is the beautiful energy we can hold? Love. So it's like I hold the love mirror so that the shame can be seen through. Not that there is shame that exists, okay? Because shame can't really exist. We can believe in that and attach to that untruth. And I don't know whose shame this is, yours or someone you're dealing with here, okay? I feel it's you're dealing with a situation that is not aligned in truth. It is not grounded in truth. And to see the illusion of this shame story, the opposite must hold the mirror of love. So when I hold this greater truth, the only truth, which is love, all illusions get seen through. And that's what creates this new beginning. Because if we believe in the distortion and the illusion of shame, then we stay there in the fantasy or in the fairy tale. And it's like, no, there's a new beginning that's not based in shame, that's not based in lack, that's not based in suffering, that's not based in distortion. It's based on truths. Because the truth, like I was saying when I laid these cards out, is the authentic expression. And authentic expression only comes from love. Authentic expression cannot come from a distorted untruth. That would be an expression of sorts, but that's just sort of parroting or mimicking a distorted thing. But the authentic expression comes from truth, comes from love. Okay, and so this is what's being called to the surface, the truth. And so maybe someone hasn't spoken their truth. Okay, like I said, I do feel it's whatever you're dealing with here. So the truth of the situation or that person's truth, it's like someone running away or avoiding speaking a truth or seeing this through this illusion. Okay, now, of course, who would run away, from a truth, and who would want to choose to stay in illusion and shame? Nobody. The only reason why a something or someone would be stuck in this whole thing is because they believe in the illusion. They believe in the untruth. And so it's fear and it's a misbelief that holds this vibration. And so the conscious mirror says, this illusion shall fall. Truth will show you the truth, or love will show you the truth. The love is authentic. Whatever else is here is inauthentic. And I'm going to generate and create this thing because you're here. So you can create this mirror. You could create this love. You could create this energy in your situation and hold it against this thing, this person, this whatever, this illusion. And whatever this is going to transform and die away, fall away. And this new energy will emerge because you've been consciously creating this with your energy. And that's what we mean by the power of the law of attraction. Because you are the magician. And so either you could fall into the illusion story and feed the distortion, lack with more lack. I believe you're bad, lacking, not doing the thing, confronted, conflicted, challenged. I'm going to buy the story and stay here in that vibration, or I'm going to step up to a higher state of consciousness and create this new energy of love, gratitude, hold up this conscious mirror, and the truth shall be seen through that there is no lack, shame. Okay, so the last thing we should do is judge and project. Because if we project on something that already believes in shame, we're just enforcing that illusion. Yes, you're right. That is something to be shameful about. You're right. There is something lacking here. Yes, you're right. There is a challenge here. It's like, no, this is an illusion. There's no lack. There's no challenge. You're acting challenging and lacking because you believe in a distortion. But the great truth here is of love. And that is what's going to allow this new beginning and transform something here. This is what you're guided to do since you're here, okay? I don't know how else to describe it, but let's just pull some more tarot because I feel like there might be more messages, and I don't know that I did a great job sort of explaining this thing, So let's see. Spirit, for gorgeous pile one. What did I miss, and what do they need to know then? It's easier said than done, But if we're conscious, where's my energy? Where's my energy? What am I creating right now? Is it based in love? Is it based in lack? Is it based in judgment? Is it based in buying a distorted illusion here? Or is it in truth? Clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of pile one. Can we close out this reading with whatever it is that I missed or whatever it is that pile one is asking about their situation that I haven't covered? Whatever they need to know here. What did I miss, and what do they need to know? Wow, look at that. I do feel these three here coming out in chunks. All right. So, bottom of the deck, 5 swords. Yeah, conflict with someone, This is what it feels like. You're dealing with someone here, and it's like, do we believe in the lack and upkeeping the 5-sword energy? Or can we shift it and be the master magician that instills love and reality and truth in the situation rather than upkeep the distortion? It's up to you. You have the power here. And I don't think this person is going to all of a sudden do something. You do something. You're here. You're conscious. You know of love. That is the great truth. Everything else is just a lack of belief and playing it small. Okay. King of Cups. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. So this is holding the vibration of love. Two of Cups. Like I said, dealing with someone here. Okay, 2 cups is 2 people showing up here of equal value, meaning I respect how you're feeling. I'm not creating any challenge, boundary, guardedness, other than using my love as my protection. Love is the protection, not anger, not resentment, not I need to defend myself because your illusion is causing me pain. Because it's like, I believe your illusion so strong. So we keep it alive. I believe that illusion now. And now you believe the illusion. I believe the illusion. It's 5 swords. It's like, no, your illusion is actually an untruth, shame, lack, whatever you buy in or whatever that person's believing. And you know of a greater truth, which is love. So my love is going to show off this resistance or whatever, so that love is the only thing that can breed more love. Okay? Lack and illusion distortion is going to breed more lack and illusion and distortion. Page of Cups. Love all around. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Literally love. All right. Love. So the moon in reverse. So we got to get out of the fear story. And remember, I felt the 7 cups coming from you. Okay, but I do feel it's sort of from both, because I do feel when we believe in the lack story, and I don't know who it is believing in the lack, someone here, the situation, okay, it has to be generated, I do feel in someone, with someone, it's really stemmed from a fear, okay, or a subconscious wounding that created this shame belief that isn't true, and it's like, how do I overcome this? And how this person or this situation is trying to overcome it is the only way they might know how. By believing that it still exists here. And it's like, no, the only way to overcome it is to see the truth. And you're holding this mirror of love, which is going to show the truth here and get this out of fear. But if you're in fear too, if you're in that 7 cups, which is like confusion about this and stay there, it just breeds more confusion and more fear. Okay, so your power is to hold the truth here. Right, 5 wands. That's the conflict. That's the challenge. Maybe you don't want to argue with someone here, you know, it creates arguments, it creates challenge. And so Spirit was saying, like, there is no need to create arguments and challenge. The only thing is to hold a vibration of love. That's your solution here. 7 of Wands, yeah. Exactly. So someone's coming at you maybe with this illusion. Someone was, I don't know, it could even be your own mind sort of coming at you with this challenging lack belief. And it's saying, don't fight back with that because it's not true. Don't engage in that thing, you know, just allow yourself to be in the vibration of love, and that will disarm the situation. It's really about how do I disarm the situation. Okay, yeah, 5 of coins, a lack belief, to get out of this belief of lack and being feeling left out, because that Tower and that Knight of Swords in the reverse, and even that 7 cups was kind of feeling like the situation left you, of course, if I'm reading it right, left you feeling abandoned, or like this person did something to you and you don't like the state in which you're feeling, abandoned, lack, loss. And it's saying, let your heart come forward, express the heart energy. Energetically, okay? This doesn't mean go argue with this person and try to explain your love. This just means don't give into the fear. And the only way through this confusion or this doubt or this to see through the truth of this thing, to fight through this thing, is energetically holding this vibration. That gets you out of whack. That gets the truth to be shown here. That gets things to move here. And so I think there will be some form of a communication here, but it has to be heart-based communication. If it's not heart-based, I feel something is stuck, challenged and conflicting. So honest truth comes from the heart and things will move here. 2 swords. So beautiful people. I feel like Spirit is talking about 2 people. Okay, this is how I'm going to read it, but 2 energies. And there is a potential here for an honest communication. And I feel like your guidance is there's nothing you can say or do other than energetically hold a vibration of love. And whatever this situation is going to unfold, but you're going to disarm it with love. And you will see, and you will be able to allow the situation to be birthed or transform or change, but it'll be changed in line with truth and authenticity rather than lost in fears and illusions and arguments and conflict here. Okay, but there's nothing really at this point that you're able to do or say. Even your thoughts could be your own greatest challenge here if you buy that story. Saying, don't buy that story. Disarm it with love. Don't feel like, okay, well, I'm going to be stuck here unless I come up with a plan, or I need to figure out, or no. Okay, there's just, again, holding the vibration of love. So the Lovers in reverse here. Love all around in your reading here. I feel like you're really guided to work with someone, on a path that feels challenging because the person you're dealing with is buying some sort of story that you're potentially buying as well, for sure. And you're here, and it's saying, don't buy the story. You can shift things. You don't have to force anyone, chase anyone, convince anyone of anything. You just have to hold the vibration of love. And love is the thing that's going to break through this thing. And when we do that, it's scary, because it's like, if I hold vibration, then that means and we could come up with all sorts of things. I'm going to be the fool, or I'm going to be this, or it might go this way, it might go that way. Again, those are the thoughts. And then we fall back into buying the illusion. So you have to decide right now, do I buy the illusion or do I buy the love? And then stick to that, commit to that. Don't waver in that. Because fear would look like someone who's trying to control. Because if we don't fear, we don't need control. We just let things fall as they may, So I feel like you might be feeling like I need to control where this goes, or how it goes, or something like this, or prove myself, or no, don't need to do any of that. Okay, so this is your message, pile number 1. It is an interesting message, and I hope this resonated for you. I do feel called to read these again. Okay, it says, Our Lady who sends the angels with a pure heart, free from any intention other than manifesting the Divine Mother's love. Call on the angels who have all beings, who love all beings unconditionally. Okay, so this is the manifestation here. Call on the angels who love all beings unconditionally. Ask for help for yourself and for all you feel inspired to pray for, including those you know are in need of assistance, but perhaps lack the spiritual skillfulness to help themselves. Pray with relief in your heart that is born of total trust. So the only reason we wouldn't trust is if we still have fears and doubts. Okay? Then that means I believe the lack. All right, so beyond death, life. It says, footprints lead to the shore of the sea. Beyond that point, no trace remains. You are urged beyond what has been. The time has come. Lay it to rest. This ending comes as grace to free you from all you have known. What you have known is now too small for your soul. This is about soul lessons, soul growth. Okay, so align yourself with this beautiful truth. And if you're asking, is this thing sort of over? The painful part seems over. But the new beginning is going to be manifested and created by your energy. You're the dictator of this. So how long is it going to take? It depends on you. When are you going to commit to love? When are you going to get out of fear? When are you going to get out of control? When are you going to get out of buying the illusion story? That's all up to you. Spirit's saying this speed, because maybe you're asking, how fast will it go? When will it have a breakthrough? When will it shift? Or any of that stuff. And Spirit says, all with you. All with you. Hold up that mirror. Hold up that vibration. The truth will be emerged this way. And all that's going to breed from this love holding is more love. A breakthrough in love. Okay? You've already experienced the challenge. I feel I've read this energy. Challenge with another person. You could stay there forever. Back and forth in the illusion. That's just 3D beliefs. This is asking for a higher state of consciousness here, okay? And drop the defenses as well. Only defense that you need is love. Okay? That's your message. I'll see you at the next one. Bye-bye. Hello, pile number 2. I was going to reveal these cards, and I didn't. So interesting how these picks came through. Okay, so we'll look at the backside of these cards because there's words here. We'll reveal this card, and then we'll lay all the cards. And what I've asked Spirit here is your current situation, circumstance, whatever you're dealing with here. What is the guidance? How do you navigate through this thing? Okay, so if you don't resonate with this being an energy that you're experiencing, either a person, place, thing, your own energy, okay, could be in your shadow, so it could be something you're unconscious of, but it should resonate in some way here for it to be your reading. If not, don't force it to fit and go check out another pile. Okay, if you're interested in a private reading right now till the end of March, I have a promotion going on. Save 35% off if you enter in Sunshine 35, SUNSHINE 35 from now till the end of March. And everything off Prairie Vintage Jewelry is on sale. Or, like I said, private readings, extended readings will be discounted to 35% off. So let's take a look. We have the 4 of Pentacles building this tree house. All right. Fascinating. And then we have this card right here, and it says, Our Lady of Passion, trust in the wisdom path of your heart and the timing of meaningful revelation. As you are ready to live your potential, the fullness of your soul's passionate purpose will be so alive in your heart that you cannot possibly miss what you're meant to be doing or how you're meant to be living. The heart has its own genius. Listen and trust the heart. Beautiful message. And then we have the Cloak of Christ. I do believe it showed on your thing. Yes, the Cloak of Christ. So it says, in the school of humanity, you reside on the king's throne. Your soul has been ravaged and you are succumbing to weariness. That which plagues you is not as powerful as you fear. Exhaustion is not a sign that something must be done, so much as a sign that something must be received, allowed. Accept divine refuge now. Wow, beautiful. So I do have this cloth because I have the transparent tarot here, and the transparent tarot is difficult to see without the cloth. Okay, we have card number 66. And I do feel I'm going to read from the book here so that we can tap into this energy. I don't know if you guys can see it with the lighting here. I'll hold it like this. All right. Let's put this right over here. And I'm going to get the book. 66. All right. So this deck is very challenging for me to connect with. So it says telepathy within. Wow. Keywords: psychic connection, thoughts, openness and transmission, perception, elements of the spirit of air, and the chakra of the brow. It says telepathy is represented by circular patterns of energy in the color of the brow chakra. Radiating from the brow chakra of the self in increasing size, which touch and overlap each other. Telepathy is a skill or latent talent that enables the transmission of reception of ideas, words, images, and symbols. This is the kind of etheric connection in which we may perceive the thoughts of others, sometimes to the point of clear psychic ability. On a mundane level, this card may indicate seeming to know what other people are about to say or who it is that is calling on the phone. Common occurrences that are connected to telepathy. Wow, that's an interesting energy to come out here, eh? Let's take a look. So we have the Fool with trust. Beautiful. So we know how children, interesting, we have the inner child tarot. And the Fool is like a child because it's innocent here. And it's like children just are able to have these more psychic gifts because they're not sort of tainted by beliefs, and they trust in this sort of thing openly, so they can see into other worlds, and sometimes they even see apparitions and stuff like that more easily here. Okay, something about innocence here. And we have trust, Aquarius energy, and then we have the happy family with the number 4. Beautiful rainbow. Rainbows to me can talk about a change of perspective. We have 2 4s. 44 is a master number. Integrity is a foundation. Treating the earth as home and a temple. Manifestation and leadership. Okay, and then we have all that glitters with the number 16. 2 masks here. And then we have this oracle card. I will read the back side. It's interesting. It says 21 ecstasy, West black. Ecstasy is a buoyant state of joy. One of the finest ways to maintain a state of joyousness is to examine the dark side of your being, that instinctual nature that most human beings repress in civilized life. Within this what is this? Instinctual. Oh my goodness. So sorry. Within this instinctual nature are the seeds of ecstasy. We tend to live in our minds and our emotions, occasionally in spirit, and almost never in our instinctual depths. We are born as wild as mountain lions, but live most of our lives like sheep, forgetting and denying whole parts of ourselves. Sit on the earth with your back against a tree and get in touch with your roots, which move deep into Middle Earth. This will restore your joyousness and balance. Each day, listen to your body, mind, and your heart. What are they telling you about a given situation? Ecstasy is like a wind horse waiting to be ridden. The last wild ride before your passage into enlightenment. Take courage and live your passion fully. Wow, that's a powerful card. Let's read what the book has to say. Sorry, these are new cards for me, and I do like to see if there's anything more. Okay, 21. Oops, wrong way. So it says the definition of the card. The painting is entitled Rapture. In this painting, ecstatic femininity is a symbol of rapture. It shows that these stones are really alive, that nature is alive. True ecstasy is reached when we understand that we are a part of every living thing and that the sphere of universal knowledge is within our own process. We have already found our way home. We are already enlightened. We just don't realize it. Ecstasy is in the West where emotions live. Do not be afraid to move into the ecstatic emotions that are within you. They are your birthright. Do not be afraid to live in ecstasy. Okie dokie. Thank you, Spirit. Next, we have oneness is the way. How can you show more compassion and acceptance towards those you don't understand? 42, or the number 6. 6 is lovers. Okay, 6 could be devil energy as well. So fear and love, and sort of being a conscious choice here. Interesting. And then we have bias with 49, right by this, all that glitters. Or 13, Scorpio energy, okay, death energy. And then the mask of altruism was 64. And we had a couple of masks, I thought, here, didn't we? Oh, right here, 2 masks. The mask of altruism was 64, or the number 10. Okay, let's pull the tarot. and see what Spirit wants to communicate to you. Clear and concise message. Interesting. I don't know if I said, but 66 is also master number. Service is a source of joy, and which one pours from an overflowing cup, not martyrdom. Altruism. Is it true altruism? Or is it a mask of altruism, but it's really martyrdom in some way here? Okay. So let's see. Spirit, clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of pile 2. What is it that pile 2 is navigating in their current situation, circumstance? What is the guidance given to them? Justice, Libra energy. The Queen of Wands in the reverse. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius energy. What is it that pile 2 is needing to know right here, right now, in regards to how to navigate their current situation, circumstance? What is the guidance about their situation? Ace of Wands. Wow. Why is justice here? Why is justice here? Queen of Cups in the reverse. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. 2 queens we have here. Why is this Queen of Wands here? Six of Cups in the reverse. And then finally, why is this Ace of Wands here? Guidance for pile 2 in their current situation, circumstance. You need to know. The Magician. Wow. Virgo, Gemini, I'm feeling this one here as well. The King of Wands. So we have the King and the Queen of Wands. It could be divine counterparts. Could be your masculine, your feminine aspects of self coming through. Okay, 9 of coins, 9 pentacles. And under 9 pentacles, we have 10 pentacles. All right. Wow. Interesting energy. Let me channel what this is about. Interesting. The heart has its own genius. Listen and trust your heart. Right by this trust here. Okay. Okay. Pile number 2. This message is go after it at the end of the day. Okay. See you later. At the end of the day, I feel like you're in a situation here where I feel you believe what happened to you at some point in time, okay, or whatever you've adopted as a belief here, and you carry this thing. It's actually getting in the way of you experiencing an opportunity here that I think is definitely for you here, but it's calling you to get outside of your comfort zone, because it's going to build to something here. And I do feel it's fruitful, but I feel like your energy is actually going to something else. And I don't know what you're telling yourself. It's safer like this. It's better this way. I don't know. I'm doing this out of some form of righteousness, you know. I feel like you're telling yourself a story, and for all of you guys, it is a different story, but I think you're dressing it up in a way that accepts that stationary choice that you're making. And so if you choose a stationary choice, meaning to do the thing, okay, because I do feel it is more surface. I do feel it isn't calling you to reach in the depths of yourself. And so this opportunity that's coming in front of you, or this thing, would require you to trust. And it's scary to trust, because if we haven't lived in the energy of trust, innocence, and opening up, that's a scary place to be. And it's saying that I don't know, this thing is talking to your heart. Okay? And I feel you're refusing this thing. Saying, go after it. You're capable here. You might actually be choosing whatever you are choosing or doing, saying that you're consciously choosing that out of a choice, but really it's not a choice. The fear is choosing, And Spirit's saying this opportunity that is in front of you, you have all the capabilities and the tools, and the universe will shift whatever it needs to in order for this thing to work. I feel like this experience does feel sort of karmic here, or at least Spirit is putting this in front of you in order to balance something out in your world, because I feel your world has been out of balance and something's been very stuck, specifically when it comes to following your truth or your heart, or you're expressing your emotions or living your emotions or going after your dream or saying this is in line with my truth. And so I think you're feeding something in the 3D world. And 3D world might seem very, very real because you could touch it, feel it, sense it, and everything. And then you're ascribing some reason that you need to do that or be there. That is the just thing, or that is the right thing. And it's like, it's actually saying that's your challenge, is saying, no, why are you saying that? Look deeper. That's just a cover up. And it might be that story is surfacely true, so it might provide you with something, but it's not deep enough. It's not true enough. It's not soul-filling enough, because whatever this other thing is soul-filling enough. It does connect you to something greater and deeper here. And I feel like you're feeling maybe exhausted or tired or like pushed in some way. And so I feel there's a resistance here, and Spirit saying the only reason you would feel discombobulated and as tired is because there's a resistance of the truth. And so it's saying, let go of whatever that is and open your hands. I want to give you this thing. Accept it. Open up to this thing. You're in the vibration of this thing. And with this telepathy card that we read, I don't know if you're connected to this place, this person, this thing so deeply that I think it transcends past the 3D. It's like your soul imprint was called to align to this thing. And so this is why we're tired, because we're resisting alignment. And the more you resist alignment by forcing something, some other story, then we're unhappy, or we're drained, or we're challenged, or we suffer. And so your guidance here is align with what's true for you. And look, her eyes are closed, because I feel like this is in the telepathy. It's like you already know. It's in your heart. There's a knowing. There's a connecting here. And only the mind, or the doubt, or the story, or the choosing of the more superficial thing, or the choosing of the fear, or the lack story, or the, I don't know, the just story that we make, that we have to do this or that. We're making a choice, but it's not based in a heart. It's based in an experience. And then we're thinking that we're consciously choosing that. And that's sort of a more, I don't know, more where we need to be or what we need to do. And it's saying, no, that's just some bias of the fear. It's the bias you're creating. It's the surface, superficial lie to self that you're choosing or seeing, and then running with whatever story here. I feel there's a lack of confidence in yourself to trust this thing with your heart, to go after it. So maybe you think you're not capable, or that it's, I don't know, you're going to lack something, or it's something you're telling yourself, which is not true, by the way. And I also feel like if you stay put somewhere, I feel like it's not utilizing or pouring into you. So it could feel very dry. It could feel very boring. It could feel very misaligned. It could feel very superficial, and it could feel like it dies out, you know? So it could be hype too. Like, I don't know. It feels like there's some hype around that thing. Maybe it scratches an itch of something, you know? But it's shallow. It's draining. And so I think your commitment right now to this thing is the challenge, like the thing that you are committing to. It's asking you to commit to. And maybe it's like creating a whole other world now with this happy family. It's like, this used to be my family. This used to be where I'd hang my hat. This used to be what I used to do. Whatever it was, whatever you did, shallow, superficial, I don't know, it doesn't do it anymore. Materialistic, it's not soul-filling. I feel there's something calling to you, you're connected to. It's calling to your heart, I don't know, connected to some deep part of your childhood or something here you can't let go of. So even if you avoid it, block it, deny it, suppress it, something here is saying, calling to your heart, it's not going to go anywhere. You can't remove it. What you resist persists. And what you fight against, you enforce. And so there's something here that's strong. And Spirit says, do you see the truth? Are you being honest? Are you finding balance in your world? Because I feel for a lot of you guys, whatever you are pouring into might be out of balance, might be doing something here that might not necessarily be helping you at all. And so this thing, yes, is going to require some form of a build. And maybe were you trying to build on an existing idea? It's like, I still want to hang on to something here that feels kind of a little bit superficial, and then make a reason. And then it's like, but I want to build this thing too, and then we say, well, I don't want to have to, I don't know, like, start over, or maybe I don't want to build from the ground up. I want to sort of, I don't know, whatever you're telling yourself like this is something that's coming through here, but it's trying to make a mishmash work here in some concocted, convoluted understanding. It's like, no, whatever you're going to build here, when you trust it and you come in innocently, open to receive this thing, it will be solid. It will be secure. There is no need for any convoluting any of this thing here. And I think you might not understand this thing fully, because it's like, I don't see, I don't understand, And it's like, I don't know, we have happy family of the 10 of coins, okay, and we have the 4 pentacle, which is very solid and secure. It could be a family situation, a stable situation here. Okay, and then maybe it's like, I have to break away of my independence here to create, but I feel like, I don't know, maybe we're used to hitching to something as our identity of of who we are. It's like, you're independent of whatever that is, and it's asking for your independence, which means I'm trusting my innocence and my own autonomy, my own position, in order to birth something else, or commit to something else, or engage in something else here, because I can, that it is calling to me. And this thing will be stable, and I could create this thing here. You can. But I don't know if you're thinking, like, is it going to fizzle out maybe? And it's saying, no, you have all the tools here. You're definitely called and inspired and pulled here. There's a lot of passion and desire and inspiration towards this thing, but there's this, I don't know, like I said, a lack of confidence. And also I'm feeling this like materialistic sort of mask. Okay. And it's the untruth. And this is the what's sort of in the blind spot here, the bias and the mask of altruism. So there's some form of leaning towards some story, I feel, that's dressed up in a way that's justifying the choosing of the material thing, or the surface thing, or the superficial thing, and dressing it up like something that needs to be happen, or that's fair, or that's just for me, or for this thing, for grandma, for the dog, for I don't know what, for this job, for whatever. But really, I don't understand this other thing. I'm maybe called to encompass another independent energy here. I'm not trusting myself to flow this way, although it won't go away here. It's connected. I feel like you need more. Okay? So I don't know what this is. A relationship, a job, a creative pursuit, a move from some place, a change in your lifestyle that stops focusing in one area and allows for another. But it's developing something else in your world. Okay, but it's requiring you to listen to your heart, listen to that pull that's really calling to you. So let's see, Spirit, clear and concise message. Can we close out this reading? What is it that pile 2 needs to know? Guidance. What did I miss? What questions do they still have regarding this thing? Wheel of Fortune. So this is all about destiny, fate, things turning, okay, for the better here. But it's like, whatever this is will be fortunate. I do feel it's something karmic. We had justice, now we have the Wheel of Fortune, and we could be doing circles because I was really getting a very tired energy here. Maybe you keep going back to review this thing in your mind over and over and over, you know, or you feel stuck in circles or something. Or maybe you're saying the universe is, you know, I don't know, because it could be part of this blind spot. The universe is doing or going to do, it's like, no, the magician's going to do. You're the magician. The universe is saying, trust yourself to flow. Trust yourself to receive. Trust yourself to be open to experience this thing without resisting it. The universe can only do so much here. Yeah. Follow your heart. Open your creative energy towards this thing. Don't shut and shy away from it. And we have to point our nose in that direction. It says move in that direction. Let your heart be open in that direction. Go towards this thing. Invest emotionally in this thing, whatever this is. Eight of Cups. You're fearful of walking away from something because in order to invest emotionally in something, you have to walk away from something you might have already emotionally invested in, you know? But I think that's the stuck energy, is the belief in why you have to stay somewhere else. And I don't think that somewhere else is emotionally fulfilling. I feel it is superficial and dressed up like a crutch here. And the Spirit says, I'm getting you to move because the universe has the power here for you to experience this thing, but you have to dance with the universe, not resist and get in the way of the universe. Otherwise, you do cycles and circles and stay sort of resisting and feeling, I don't know, challenged. Yeah, Three of Swords. So some of you guys experienced a situation that hurt you or that left you feeling empty-handed or that didn't pan out, and you might be fearful to repeat it, or you're just projecting that this thing is a threat. It's going to hurt me. It will abandon me. It will not work out. It will. So let me focus my energy on something that might not hurt me in this present moment. Okay, but it's like I'm not going to go outside because I don't want to get hit by a car ever. So I won't get groceries. I won't go enjoy the birds. I won't do any of that stuff ever. Nine of Pentacles. It requires you to be available here. Confident. You are in a position to do this. Maybe you feel, I don't know, like you can't make yourself available to invest here. A Fool in the reverse. Fool energy. Risk. To walk away from something, we feel stuck. We feel it's a big risk to walk away from something. And then Strength. Courage to face our fear. And then the King of Cups. More cup energy. Leo, and then Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. So this is your message. It's saying the only reason you're challenged right now in your situation is because the universe is pushing you to face a fear. And you have a fear that you'll be hurt again, or you'll be hurt if you invest and open up in some way here and pour your energy, your creative energy, your heart energy, your emotions towards this thing and make yourself available. And so therefore, there's some sort of story, some belief you have because you've emotionally invested in something that's no longer going to do it for you. And you could stay there as long as the universe keeps putting pressure on you. But eventually there's shifts and changes. And you're looking at the glass being half empty and why you can't and what the risks are. The risk is I'll get hurt again. The risk is I'd have to do this. The risk is this and the risk is that. And you could risk all day and that means I'm not facing the fear. And this is you have the Magician, which is all the elements, all the whole universe in your back, every skill you need. You just need the courage to face the thing, to do the thing, and to make yourself available to the thing. The thing will be profitable. The thing will be secure. The thing will go and be able to create something here for you that is very aligned. You're very tied to this thing. It's saying, trust this thing. This thing will get established. And accept something you don't understand here is facing your courage. Just because you don't understand it, and just because there is an experience of the past does not mean that this thing is going to be a duplicate of that whole thing here. Okay? So I feel fears holding you back and a lack of trust of yourself and confidence in your position. But the heart knows the truth, and your heart and your feelings and your creative juices and your soul is calling to whatever this is connected to whatever this is. And so the more you're misaligned not doing it, the more we feel like we're missing out or we're challenged, okay? You can even feel cowardly, you know? I feel there's a pull, a passion, an animal instinct, a desire, an ecstasy, everything. It's your soul's calling here. So, I don't know. I keep reading this message, 4 years now. I feel some of you guys have been sitting on this thing for 4 years. Well, longer. Look, even this body language is the same as this. Her head is up. She's looking at spirit, trusting the divine. Eyes closed. The divine saying, I'm guiding you. I'm guiding you. I'm guiding you. I'm guiding you with your heart. I'm guiding you to walk away from a situation. You're not stuck there. It's emotionally not going to be satisfying. You're looking at the material aspects of that thing. And then that's what's guiding your decisions. And that's creating the suffering. There's more than just the 3D material understanding of things. That's just one tiny little speck. You will be materially provided for. Don't look at that as the discouraging thing and then be like, I got to risk. Leave my home, leave my job, leave my this. The material thing is calling all your shots. So you'll be unhappy here, As long as you believe that, you're unhappy there. The magician has the ability to manifest different beliefs and different things, and that's what's going to manifest. And I don't know if the heartache is you projecting pain or something like this to fear the unknown, or if the pain here is like anticipation, the big pain that will come when I walk away or leave this thing that's not emotionally doing it anyway. And it's saying, no, you leave, you're going to be like, I should have left sooner, because it's not aligned here anymore. It's just the anticipation of the pain that would experience that's keeping me sort of playing small. It's like, no, it's going to liberate you. It's going to free you. You're going to feel independent. You're going to feel confident. You're going to feel capable. You're going to feel what you're being called by the universe to give to you. Right now, you're feeling that way and you're generating more of that feeling. It's not going to be painful. There's no big fat risk here. The only thing is to face the fear, that story. That's the risk, is the story itself, not the thing itself, not the action itself. That's the liberation. Okay, so you're empowered here. Crown. She's wearing like a flower crown here, wearing something on the head. I really feel it's the empowerment to move towards, to build this thing, work with spirit. You're protected. The cloak of Christ. You're awakened to the truth here. You're connected to this thing. Okay, so believe in that. Pile number 2. This is your reading. I hope this helped you, and I'll see you at the next one. Bye-bye. Hello, pile number 3. I was going to reveal these cards in the pics, but I did not. So interesting. I can't wait to see what's on the back side of this, and then we'll read the writing on the back side of these cards. Okay, because there is words on the back side of these cards. Pile 3, and then I have free shuffled oracle cards. I've not looked at these, and really what I asked Spirit was for pile 3, what is their current situation, circumstance, energetically? What are they going through here, and what is the best guidance in order to help them navigate through whatever they're dealing with? Okay, so it could be a challenge, a struggle, or just confirmation guidance. That's what you're needing to know or understand or do. Okay, and let that sort of pull through. Now, if you're interested in a private reading, I do have a promotion going on right now. Save 35% off. PrairieVintageJewelry.com when you enter in the code Sunshine35, SUNSHINE 35. Okay, so I have this cloth as well, because we have the transparent oracle, and in order for you to see it, I'll put it on the cloth here. So let's take a look. We have the 8 of Swords. All right, interesting. So 8 Swords talks about limiting beliefs. So either someone's told us something that we started to believe is true, or we just ran with some sort of understanding of why we can't, or some limitation that keeps us sort of stuck or feeling like we are incapable of something here. Although I see all this fire, okay, wands. So I'm getting some sort of wand energy as well, fire. Okay, we have this card right here, and it is the Our Lady of the Whispering Heart, the truest guidance. Look at this being guided out of this cave. The truest guidance is not always the loudest voice. Sometimes fear and doubt yell, while love and trust speak quietly but consistently from deep within the heart. Trust in the truths of your heart, even when they seem quieter than the voices of fear within or around you. Listen and apply the soft, steady wisdom felt within with patience and confidence. All right, beautiful. And then we have this card right here, and it says, let love transform. Oh my goodness, what beautiful messages for today's reading, all about love. It says, the sea becomes filled with pearls, the dry land receives the water of life. Love's genius and generosity are not bound by the mind. All manner of miraculous grace works through love and endless creativity, variety. Your heart's yearning shall manifest itself. Do not attempt to predict how that can be. Why would we seek to limit love's creative genius? Instead, trust that it will be magnificent and kind. Oh my goodness, beautiful. Seems to be a theme with the piles. Okay, so this card here is the Transparent Oracle, and it's card number 33, just like that. And I will read it from the book because it is a fairly new deck that I haven't used very often here. Okay, so 33 is a master number. Reproduction, creativity, humor, Christ consciousness, joy, harmony. 3 is also divine empress, feminine energy, and the triangle is giving me womb energy. Okay, which is divine feminine. But let me move this here and get from the book so that we can see what does the author talk about this. Lots of green too, earth energy, divine feminine energy. Let's see. What does the book have to say? The element of earth, yes. Keywords, solid. I don't know why I have such a hard time reading. I could read and I could speak. Solidity, security, health, manifestation, sensuality, and grounding. The elemental symbol for earth is green inverted triangle with a bar crossing. Oh, bar crossing at the bottom. I didn't even see the earth element. I just saw the leaves. Okay, interesting. With the bar crossing the lower tip, to which I have added green leaves in order to make the association more obvious for those unfamiliar with the traditional symbol. Earth is the element of form and substance, and hence has influence over our health, material security, and the final stage of the process of physical manifestation. Essentially, this means the tangible end result of any labor, project, or perhaps the achievement of a long-held dream or ambition. This element may relate to architects and those in the building profession, doctors, athletes, and gardeners, amongst others. It may also indicate people of the zodiacal sign, Taurus, Capricorn, or Virgo. The nurturing and stable side of nature is the realm of this element, the cool reliability of soil and stone, the roots of the trees, and all that gives our life foundation and substance. If earth is combined with cards from the direction of the east, ooh, let's see. You have this card here. And this is the west. Sorry, we'll go back to that, but I want to see west. I don't want to read any of that because it's not calling to me. What is with the west? Okay, when combined with cards from the west, earth brings sensuality and comfort to an emotional relationship. Fascinating. Yes. Okay. Might as well read this one here. Look at more earth. Looks like roots, trees, forest, and then here there's like a sinkhole, but you see the universe through that. And it says intuition 23, the opposite of earth here. Wow, because this is the 3D manifest. Intuition, this is watery energy. Okay, it says from the left side of your body comes your feminine energy. Whether you are a man or a woman, within this femaleness, the feminine consciousness lives your intuition. Intuition is the intelligence of your body-mind. Feel what is true with your body-mind rather than knowing what is true with your mind. Intuition does not have the clouds of accumulated knowledge to distort your vision. Intuition simply sees what is the truth. Oh my goodness, love it. With intuition, you can feel the source of your being without reasoning it away and being filled with doubt. Doubt destroys your intuition. Your power always lies in the balance between mind and intuition. Interesting here too, because we read something about guidance sometimes, isn't necessarily always the loudest voice. Doubt is sometimes loud. Fear is sometimes loud. Okay, interesting. And then we have the number 30. Another 3, you guys. 3, 3, 3. Another 3 here. Okay, with the 23, but that's 5. So 5 is challenge, change. But we have the how is in the now. What has your intuition been trying to tell you? Oh my goodness. Look at this message. Your intuition's telling you something. Beautiful headpiece. Fascinating. 7, choose your battles. And joy and stability. Number 4, it's a purple energy. Purple is the intuition. It's the spiritual chakras. And then we have 2, journey. 2s are all about decisions. Okay, contrast, polarity, balance. She's walking this pathway or this bridgeway here. Journey. Okay, and then we have the yang, which is masculine energy. We have the 1 and the 2. Masculine. So masculine is mind. It's also when we're putting out energy rather than receiving energy, or not sort of trying to control or do anything, because masculine energy, not that it's controlling, but it takes its power to manifest and do outwardly. It's expansive. And the feminine is more like contracting and sort of the inversion of the masculine energy here. So what is going on here? Imagine 20, another 2. 22 is a master number. Peacemaker, diplomacy, healthy energetic boundaries, and divinely guided relationships. Imagine dreaming of something, a possibility here, 28, or the number 10 with triangulation. So a third thing up in the mix here. Okay, could be fear getting in the way of the intuition and the direction and the doing, or the guidance. Okay, let's see. I'm going to pull some tarot. So spirit, clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of pile 3 and the guidance. What is our current situation, circumstance, challenge, or whatever energetically they are experiencing, and what is the guidance for them to navigate through this? What is their advice? What is their guidance? We have the 7 of Cups in the reverse, right beside this imagine. Interesting. And then we have Justice in reverse, Libra energy. Clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of pile number 3. What is their guidance and their advice regarding their current set of circumstances? 4 of Wands in the reverse. Why is 7 of Cups here in the reverse? We have the 6 of Pentacles, and it is clarified by the 2 of Pentacles in the reverse. Why is Justice here? Knight of Cups, and then 4 of Wands in the reverse. What is the guidance? And we have the Ace of Pentacles in the reverse, and it is clarified by the 3 of Cups. Remember, we were feeling a third energy. Where was that I just channeled? Oh, yeah, triangulation. 3 Cups. All right, and then bottom of the deck, we have the King of Swords, and then we have the Queen of Cups under that. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, and Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Okay, so I don't know where to put these. Maybe here. And I'm going to put that there. That's the bottom of the deck, okay? Yeah. Let the love transform. We have the Queen of Cups right there. So let me sit with this energy and channel. Let me make sure that you can see. Okay. You guys can definitely skip ahead. Okay. It looks to me like for this pile, you guys are essentially just battling yourself. Whatever situation you're in is irrelevant here, because I think what Spirit is talking about here is a trusting in yourself to lead with your intuition. And so this lessons of sorts that's coming through here that might not be understood by you just yet. I feel that you might feel discombobulated, dysregulated, unbalanced, or like a situation is challenging you, okay, while you're here. And it's saying that whole thing is irrelevant really at this point in time, because the universe is coming through, and this could be a karmic lesson for sure, or just an experience in order for you to work through your own intuition at the end of the day. So how does intuition get sort of screwed up here? It's when we're transitioning from older energy that's maybe not as ascended or conscious or awakened, or whatever word you want to use is irrelevant, because it just means you're graduating to another level up here spiritually, where you're more in tune with the intuition. And so your intuition is the thing that's trying to show you where to go. It's going to navigate you and wherever this experience is that you're having. That looks like John Travolta. And then I'm getting Mount Rushmore. I don't know, could be significant for someone here. Anyway, back to what I was reading here. Interesting. So whatever obstacle you feel is just an obstacle you're creating. Okay? Difficult to accept that message, but it's true, because your situation here, I think there are no obstacles. There isn't anything in the way here. And I do feel like you're going to go right towards this dream of yours. I feel you're going to get your dream or whatever outcome you want. Success. Okay? But Spirit is saying the success only comes when you learn the lesson. Success only comes when you lead with that intuition, because the intuition is going to guide you exactly where the success happens. Everything else is going to guide you in different directions, making you maybe feel confused, like it's not working, like it's that thing that's creating problems or resistance, or it's not aligned, or I don't know. So the only thing that could muddy up the waters here is fear and the mind, telling yourself something that is not true. And so Spirit's talking about, do you want to feed the untrue story, or do you want to feed the true story? And the true story is hard to know what the truth is, or being led and guided, because when we have two things online and one's very loud and the other one's sort of quiet, it's like, I don't know which it is. They both seem real, or they both seem convincing, or, and it's like, no, there's only one truth. There's no two things here. Okay. There's the illusion, there's the belief in lack, limitations and doubt, and then there is the truth that there is nothing lacking and there's nothing doubting here. So you're manifesting something that is quite joyful. It'll be profitable, stable, whatever this is, and it hasn't built just yet, because you're laying the groundwork. The groundwork for this thing requires you to see and understand the intuition and work your way through this thing. And I feel like instead of us sort of doing that, I think you're putting weight on other things that aren't necessarily helping you, So now in the mind, I'm going to put weight on this sort of energy of what I'm thinking right now, what I should say or do or whatever. Okay, that's already shifting it on something else, or looking at the external person, situation, or thing and say, okay, that thing should do or can do, or what's it going to do? And that again is shifting it. So we're shifting it everywhere but the place we're supposed to be leaning into. And the leaning into is the intuition. That's what Spirit wants you to do. Intuition, what have you say? What say you to me? Where am I supposed to be sort of doing and going? And let me trust in that. And let me get quiet enough to trust it, because the only reason why we can't hear it is because there's doubt and there's fear and there's lack beliefs. And so the only way to work through fears and doubts and lack and all of these things that are not true is to see through the illusion. And how do we see through the illusion? As the illusion comes through like a real thing. We have to experience that doubt. We have to experience that thing in order for us to see through it, or else we're not challenged. We don't have any opportunity to see it. And this opportunity is one handed by the universe saying, you will see through illusion. You will see through your doubts, your limiting beliefs, and everything here that's been getting in your way. Because there's only one truth. And the one truth is what's meant for you will not pass you by. And the one truth here is you're going to develop your purpose. And the one truth here is in line with you. It's in line with your soul. It's in line with your intuition, because that's exactly where you're headed. And so this journey might seem very screwy, Huey, and Louie when we're putting weight and beliefs in other things that aren't necessarily true. And so I believe you have a vision and a dream here that can absolutely come true. And the only reason you're doing circles or lost or confused or daydreaming about something that seems like it's hard to reach or will never get there is because the universe says, I'm trying to give you the information on how to get there. Be open to receive, and also be knowing what to pour your energy into. This is a card of generosity. Okay, sometimes we're on the receiving end and sometimes we're on the outputting end. You have the yang here, which is an outputting of energy. Okay, this is generally a receiving of energy. So we have to know, when are we open to receive, and when are we in the energy of sort of moving and having to do whatever we have to choose rather than being too held back. Okay, but we're not a doer, meaning this isn't something you can control. And so I feel like you're experiencing something here that might seem not quite balanced, not quite developed, not quite done yet here, And Spirit says only the intuition is going to build this thing and manifest this thing that hasn't manifested for you. You want this manifestation. It's saying, where's your intuition and your heart? Because that's where the truth sits. And so if there's doubt, and any feeding back and forth of energy, that's in your hands. In your hands. And you might be sitting, humming and hawing, like two stories, or the fear and the intuition, going back and forth. And then one day one has more weight, and you listen to that than the other. And then what happens when we do that? We go back and forth and we do circles and we get nowhere. It's like sometimes the intuition is saying something, and then all of a sudden I pull back, or I don't know. And it's saying, of those two, pick the one, and that one is the intuition, and that one is the way. And whoever needs to come online here to help you, support you, or whatever needs to come, will come. And I think maybe we pull back at the first sign of doubt, or the first sign that it won't, or the first thing that makes me fear something. And so then I go back into the doubt, or back into the mind trap of the back and forth. And then we play in there again. And we never move anywhere, and nothing gets built or created. It keeps maybe falling apart. And Spirit says, I could play this game forever. You could keep sort of trying to build something, and then we pull the plug, and all of a sudden it falls apart. Okay, but the thing isn't going to fall apart forever, and you're never going to get it. It's like Jenga. It's going to keep falling apart until you build the thing. But you must go through the whole thing here. It's a journey of seeing. Okay, and so I feel like there's two things, like the doubt and the intuition, the truth and the illusion, the fear, and then the love, or the creative thing that's standing there, that's truer than true. And we must see and choose the thing that's real and true in order to get grounded, stable, and have the belief here, and then your thing will manifest. Okay, so the mind isn't bad, but the mind, when it believes certain things, it could create all sorts of stories that create doubt. And then it could convince us why it's true. And all it could maybe do is make you believe in the limiting thought, or the limitation that doesn't necessarily exist. And it's like, but I know, And so I feel like wherever you're wanting to go to, I feel it's harmonious. I feel it's joyous. I feel it's your soul tribe, your soul people, something here you can celebrate. And I think right now it's like, I want to find my people, or I want to be welcomed. I want to belong. I want to celebrate. I want to commit and build something here. But it's like, when's it ever going to come? Or how's it ever going to build? Or how? And it's like, no, you're asking the wrong question here. It's not a how's it going to build. It's like, guide you to that direction, because your intuition has been already guiding you here. Listen to your heart. The universe has been giving this to you. The only confusion you're in is the one you're creating. And so your intuition's been trying to tell you exactly what you're supposed to be sort of moving towards, and what you should be questioning, because it's not necessarily a truth, and that's what it's calling you to manifest. And so choose your battles is like, what am I feeding right now? Am I feeding my heart? Am I feeding the intuition and the truth? Or am I feeding whatever feels like it's a story here that might sound very true, but it's saying I can't, or it won't, or it's limiting my movement. And then I get these two things. It's like, but my intuition says, but intuition phooey. It's not based in truths or reality. So I'm just going to sit here arguing with myself and still not getting anywhere and still being guided by the intuition. The intuition is not going to go anywhere. But we haven't learned the lesson. Spirit says, I'm going to stay here with this annoying intuition until you see it, until you face it, until you learn it, until you get comfortable in it, until you understand that dreams are possible, goals, visions, and things that are coming to you from the divine are aligning you with purpose. And the mind will try to tell you all sorts of reasons why you can't or shouldn't or needs to stay sort of stuck somewhere, and it's not necessarily true. So the mind and the intuition needs to sort of shake hands here. But the intuition can't bend to the mind, because if the mind doesn't have the full truth up front at first, it's going to say untrue stories. The mind will only have buy-in when it experiences something that it could say, oh, okay, now I understand, And sometimes it doesn't understand. It didn't have the experience yet. Doesn't mean it's not real. The intuition saying, I want to make it a reality. I want to manifest something here that maybe you don't believe could manifest, or you only dreamt of it. And then you're saying, no, not possible. No, it can't because I don't know. And that would be an egoic thing, because I don't know, therefore it doesn't exist. It's like, no. Divine is saying it does exist. Divine is saying, I want to show you. Divine is saying there's truer things here than what the mind's trying to tell you. And once you have that knowledge, then you'll see the illusion. This is an interesting reading. Let me do another layer here. Okay, so spirits, to close up this reading for pile number 3, what do they need to know? Clear and concise message for pile number 3. What is the guidance and what do they need to know? What did I miss? And what questions do they still have regarding where they're stuck or whatever their situation is? Clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good. 6 of Pentacles. Perfect. So we talked about the giving and the receiving, and sometimes we're on the giving side and sometimes we're on the receiving. Okay, that's a card of generosity, balance. Are we open to receive, and are we able to invest? And what does that look like? Choosing your battles. Am I blocking something out right now? Am I feeding the lack belief? Am I open to receive what the universe is trying to show me here? Ace of Wands in reverse. So we don't go after it, or we resist the idea that comes through with the intuition that's actually guiding and driving us. It comes through as a thought, as a inspiration, as a feeling within me to move towards something here. It's being given to you by the universe in order for you to manifest something here, for it to produce something here for you. And you might be silencing it, but I don't think you want to silence it. I think you're doing this with the fear, doing this with the doubt, doing this with the limitation, like suppressing this thing, watering this thing down. It's going against, okay? Counterproductive. 4 of Swords. So 4 of Swords is sitting with the truth so that we can see and heal whatever we're needing to see and heal. Okay, it's a period of pause, reflection, meditation, a period of stillness here. You might be sleeping on your intuition, where you're being guided to do and receive, because maybe you still haven't seen clearly. It's like, I still don't know the truth. My mind needs to understand it before I can do, or before I can receive, or before, and that's not how intuition works. We'll never receive it, because the lesson here is to trust. The lesson here is to listen to that thing, okay? 2 of Wands. So the choice is yours. And like I said, the 2 things. So either we choose the wand of comfort, choose the wand that we're familiar with, or we embrace the wand that pushes us outside of our comfort zone towards exploring something. And I think you're being called to choose that wand, and you're sort of hunting and hawing here. Okay, 7 of Wands. So the universe is with you. Like I said, it's going to support you. However, people, places, things, it needs to support you in order for you to overcome whatever you need. You're on the higher ground here, but you might feel like challenged, and you're seeing all the things that could come at you and not work out, and it's like I'd be alone or I'd have to overcome. But it's like you'll be victorious here. And I also feel like you're battling the universe, like you're battling the truth with the lie, or like you're defensive with the untruths. And then you're arguing those points, and Spirit saying, but that's an untruth that you're standing on, or that you're trying to give to me or to yourself. And it's a resistance, and it's saying, don't resist. Listen to the intuition. It's telling you to pick that wand. You're supported by the universe. It wants to give to you. Move towards this thing. Okay, Two of Swords in reverse. Don't sit there until the opportunity is sort of drifting by and you don't decide anything because you're so frozen. I'm so frozen, I don't know or see or do anything, and it sort of just goes right by me because you have a decision to make. Okay? Five of Swords, and then the Magician in reverse. Virgo, Gemini. So, Magician in reverse. I think you're trying to control. Okay, as we all do. And why would we ever control? Because we might say, I'm not trying to control. Well, if we are hanging on too tightly, we're trying to control. If we're trying to force something, we're controlling. If we stay put, we're controlling. If we're resisting, we're controlling. Control only comes from one place, and that's fear, doubt. I believe that there is some story that's lacking something, or I'm lacking something, or I don't have the thing. That creates the Five Swords. You could believe that, and it becomes your truth. It's not necessarily true at all, because the universe is all things, and it is what you believe in that moment. So if you believe lack, it will be the lack, and that's your reality. This universe lacks. Okay, well, then it's going to lack. This universe is ever abundant. Then guess what? The universe is ever abundant because you believe it, it becomes the truth. So the universe is all things, and it is going to support you with all things. And right now, your challenge, if you resonate with this reading, your biggest challenge, I feel, is your belief in you don't have the thing and it won't be the thing. And you're trying to reconcile the thing and understand the thing at your own demise. You're creating your suffering. It's saying, no, it's already in front of you. No, I've already shown you. Trust and choose that thing. The only reason you're not choosing that thing is because there would be going against what you believe, and it feels threatening, and you're defensive about this, and you're hanging on to that belief, that story, and it's actually going against what is helpful to you. And you're not seeing or understanding this thing, and so you might feel like that you have no choice. It's like, when will it ever come? When will I ever see it? And it's saying stillness to see where that story originated from. Stillness to hear the intuition, see the truth. The fear is louder right now. The pain or the can't do's. And so I feel like you feel challenged and pained by not having what you want. And it's saying, no, but you can have what you want. You don't have to accept it's a loss. I'm never going to get there, or it didn't work, or I'm being withheld from this thing. No, you're not. The universe says it's for you. I'm giving it to you. The door is open for you. Go there. Walk towards it. There's nothing there except for your own thing saying you can't and you won't. And there's other things here that aren't true. You're creating conflict in your world, okay, based on this thing. And the more we cling and attach, like I said, because we have a story of lack, and this is the only way. This is the only way. That's an 8 swords. This is the only way that this will work. This is the only way I understand. This is the only way that it's going to be. It's like, are you sure about this? Get still. That's an unhealed thing that's creating a story that's driving your action. It's driving your action. And Spirit's saying you're being guided to do things differently. You're being supported for this thing to flourish and manifest. You're being given this thing to manifest here. Let it come. And choose what you're energetically feeding here. Even if it doesn't make sense to you, because the intuition might not make sense, but it will be clear. Let it transform your mind and the way that you engage here. Okay? Yeah, the Devil. So this ultimately is a card of liberating yourself from anything that you feel is restricting you. And really, again, 8 swords. here, okay? But the devil can talk about addictions, bad habits, ways of being, other people, toxic situations, feeling very stuck and chained. It's saying liberate yourself from this 8-sword belief that you're saying you can't and it won't, and it's whatever it is. You can free yourself from this. It doesn't exist. Capricorn energy here. Okay, and so I'm going to read this again. Our Lady of the Whispering Heart. It says, the truest guidance is not always the loudest voice. Here the devil and the 8 swords are. Sometimes fear and doubt yell, while love and trust speak quietly but consistently from deep within the heart. Trust in the truths of your heart when they seem quieter than the voices of fear within or around you. Listen and apply the soft, steady wisdom felt within, patience and confidence. Confidence, because the universe is going to back you, okay? Let love transform. The sea becomes filled with pearls. The dry land receives the water of life. Life's genius and generosity are not bound by the mind. All manner of miraculous grace works through love in endless creative variety. Your heart's yearning shall manifest itself. Do not attempt to predict how it can be. That's that King of Swords. Why would we seek to limit love's creative genius? Instead, trust that it will be magnificent and kind. Okay, magnificent and kind. You have a story that's holding you in place right now that's not true. And it's not letting love in. It's not letting the universe give you your wish or gift. It's not healing the thing here. You're resisting or you're fighting or defending your position about this thing. And so you're not seeing the truth. The truth is this opportunity is in front of you to grab. And your magician is your all the tools, the ability, the elements, the people, the things that you need in this 3D world to manifest this thing is here. It's already here. Okay, it's not falling on another place in time or another thing here, because I feel with triangulation, there's an excuse. There's an excuse that this other thing is real and it doesn't allow. No, that's you making that up for your whatever reason, the fear, the control, and the need to, I don't know. You know, sometimes we do that without realizing we're doing that because we believe the devil's standing there. So if we see it, it's like, but the devil's standing there. It's like, are you sure about that story? Challenge it. Be the devil's advocate. See through it. It doesn't exist. That's just you telling yourself an assumption of something and running with it like it's true. It's not true. No limitation. This is yours the minute you claim it. All right. So, beautiful angel, listen to that intuition. I love you very much. I hope this helped you guys, and I'll see you at the next one. All right. Bye-bye.